Sitaram, everybody. And as we get set to listen to tonight's discourse, before we go, I just go into the Yagya. I want to invite each and every person for Bhagwat 2025 at the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram. You are all invited. Whether you would like to help us cook, get involved in making mala, bring your children so that we can teach them, or maybe you would like to sit for prayer. Once you follow the rules of fasting and preparing yourself that we all know and we've come to practice when we have prayer, the door is open for you to come and take part. Please give me a call. You have my number on the screen. When the Yagya starts, use it. Call me for more information. The dates on the invitation, again, from the 3rd to the 10th of August. I am cordially inviting you and your family. Come sit in the audience. Come sit for prayer. Do what you would like. Get involved in some way. And it begins with a phone call. It begins with reaching out, calling me, texting me, and we'll do it together. See you soon. I hope you enjoy your satsang. Have fun, everybody. Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Prem Sabalavindravan Bihari Lala ki Jai. Cordial welcome to each and every person tonight as we get set to enter into Bhagwat Katha, Bhagwat Mahatyam. For a second night, Bhagwat discussing not the text, not the Bhagwat text, but we're reading from Padma Puran. And Padma Puran is where Parvati Mata is asking Lord Shiva about these texts, about other things that bring about a lot of blessings for each person. Whilst I wait for devotees to log in, let's chant a wonderful bhajan that has a wonderful meaning that aligns with our discourse tonight. Sing together with me wherever you are. I remember singing in secondary school, the first time we went on radio. This was that bhajan. The bhajan says, "Dear Lord, today we are all blinded by darkness. Because of ignorance, I have become blind. Dear Lord, grant us the light of wisdom. Make me wise so that I can follow the correct path in this life. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। भक्त रहे हम राह दिखा दे, भगवन राह दिखा दे। भक्त रहे हम राह दिखा दे, भगवन राह दिखा दे। कदम कदम पर किरण बिचारे, भगवन किरण बिचारे। कदम कदम पर किरण बिचारे, भगवन किरण बिचारे। ए नयन नयन को प्रभु करा दे, ज्योति से पहचान, ज्योति से पहचान। Listen to the verse. Sometimes we are singing wonderful song, and when you get into the tune and the music, you get carried away. But for, let's just say, for the young person who is not accustomed singing, let's try to touch them with the meaning of the song. In that verse it says, we are lost within the sorrows and the darkness of this light. When it talks about ignorance, it means I don't know what's coming next. I cannot see beyond my trouble. I'm going through this thing and I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I cannot see a way out. The bills, the debts, the different things, family loss, family separation, the divorce, child custody. I cannot see tomorrow. Lead me through this life, this darkness, with your reassuring rays. O bliss, every step of my life be the light that is guiding me through. Cast your light, O Divine One, and allow me the ability. Last time we talked about discernment and the ability, chapter 16 of Bhagwat Gita, the ability to discriminate. Allow me to discriminate. If it's friends, tonight we're going to talk about friends and good company, bad company. Help me to discriminate good and bad in this life and allow me to choose wisely. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान. हम तू है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी हो. हम तू है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी. तेरी दया के हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी. तेरी दया के हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी. दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी, ऐसा दे वरदान, ऐसा दे वरदान. We are your children and we seek your grace. Daya. Daya means, grace, mercy, compassion. Bless us that we could enjoy peace in this life. If you are looking on tonight and everybody has their share of sorrow, grief, tribulations, and trials, bless me that I could enjoy a little bit of peace, a little bit of happiness, a glimmer in this world. Bestow upon me the boon that I am praying for, the help that I am looking for, the help that I need. Dear Lord, today I'm blinded. I don't know how to go forward. I don't know how to find my way. Please help me. Just the chorus and we're finished for now. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान. Dear Lord, thank you for tonight. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Dear Lord, let's bless now every person who could spend the time listening to the Mahatyam. On this second night of this Gupta Navratri, it is my pleasure to read for you from the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram this katha that deals with how we manage the hardships, the bad, the horrors of this life. Too often people go, Yag, you have Yag, we hear something, but I don't know how to correlate that Yag into my life for young people. So last time we heard of Narad Muni and how he was trying to help a young girl, the embodiment, the personification of bhakti, devotion. We spoke about the different type of devotion. We heard how Lord Vishnu had given her this form, this female form, and she's assigned mukti, like a servant, like a assistant, a personal assistant. And wherever bhakti is, mukti comes. Mukti is the Hindi word, the Hindustani word, the Sanskrit word for salvation. So when a person praises, utilizes bhakti, the logic is you get mukti, liberation. But in Kali Yuga, liberation, she gets emaciated with hunger and hardships. People become less sattvic, more tamasic, so she has to run away and go to heaven. Only when she's called upon does mukti come to the person. We hear about the two sons of bhakti, vairagya, the practice of giving up, releasing. We're talking a little more about it from a different perspective tonight. And Gyan. We heard when Narad Muni is guided to do this thing called Gyan Yag. Gyan Yagya, where you come together, worship is done, and you start to talk, where information, where knowledge has to be disseminated. Otherwise, it is not Gyan Yag. In this age of Kali Yuga, where people have to go, what is the purpose of a Yagna, Baba? if I help, if I'm the host, I am spending the money, I am going through all the rituals, I am going through the invitation, the cleaning, the decorating, all the preparation, so that when John Public comes to this Yagya Shala, or where the prayer is going to be held, where the discourse is going to be given, when a person who may be downtrodden, as in that bhajan we heard, the person is in a quagmire, they don't know how to come out of this puzzle in their life, they get some initiation, they get some enlightenment via the yagya. Then when you help that person, this is where you and I get blessing. But if the yagya, if Gyan yagya evolves in Kali Yuga because it is now for what people want, and the teacher sitting on that Vyasasana, he starts to only sing or tell jokes or tell amusing stories or your commentary on the day's politics or things like that, then the words of Lord Krishna, the feet of Mahavishnu, the slokas from these texts are going to be eroded. You will tell yourself, look, I dressed up, look, I ate Mahanbhog, I ate Prasad, I went to the place, but my life is not changing. I am not seeing change. I am not seeing betterment. The Shrota is going to complain. I am not seeing good in my life. Then we have to be reminded that the person who does prayer properly, the person who does it for the right reason, in the right way, and we're discussing that in this yagya, then you're going to get the right outcome. Then the purpose of Gyan Yagya must be reminded and refreshed in our minds, that when we go to sit, we are listening and we are anxious to get knowledge, so that when the person, it could be a child, it could be an elder, they walk away, they must have content within them. With that in mind, let us begin tonight's discourse. Everybody, wherever you are, please draw your hands. Let's pray together. Om Gajananam Bhutaghanadisevitam Kapet Jambu Palachar Bhakshritam Umasutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Viganeshwara Padapankajam. Tonight we chant, we continue for those people that are doing their Devi Brat, as they worship different forms of the goddess, as they do Matangi Mata Puja in different forms. Another day we'll do those discourses. Let's pray together to Adi Shakti in this Kunjika Stotra, which comes from the Chandi part, which is in Markandeya Puran. For those of you that are looking for it, Markandeya Puran has this part. Namaste Shubhantrayascha Nishumbha Surgatini Jagritam He Mahadevi Japam Siddham Kurushthva Me Emkari Shrishta Rupinye Himkari Pratipalikaya Klimkari Kama Rupinye Bija Rupe Namostute Chamunda Chandagati Cha Yenkari Vardayani Vicha Chabhayad Nitya Namaste Mantra Rupini Om Dham Dhim Dhum Durgate Patnim Vam Vim Bhum Bhageshwari Kram Krim Krum Kalika Devi Sam Sim Summe Shubham Kuru. Pray now to Guruji. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Let's chant that 12-syllable mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. One more time. Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Tonight we enter where we left off last night, where Shuji is speaking to Saunak Rishi and all those gathered in Naimisharanya. We are entering Padma Puran, section 6, Uttarkhand, chapter 195, starting in 195. Narad Muni is endeavoring to help, and he has learned, he has been introduced to Bhagwat. But like you and I, he wants to be clear. He wants to understand more. He wants to know what is the procedure, what has to be done. Let's hear what happens as we enter. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Sevakam Dwara Desha Tu Sap Bhagwat Vishveshwar Hara He Narad Uvach Pramodhyayatam Kumari Ayati Dvaidaye Vishwayagya Ye Sayatam. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Now, where we enter is where the Katha, where we left off last night. Narad Muni, for those of you following, Narad Muni was speaking to his four brothers, his older brothers. These are Sanat, Sanakumar, Sanatan, and Sanak. These four people are described, you see them sometime in those religious movies, little 5-year-old. It looks like babies. They just have a little covering, a loincloth, covering the private area and the janu. But they are created way before Narad and his brothers Daksh, Prajapati and others. These are very old souls, and rather than procreate and bring life and flourish life upon the universe, these four chose to meditate and live celibate and practice a prayerful life to remain with the divine. Narad now is having a conversation with them, and he's listening about all that we had discussed, how to help bhakti, how to help Gyan, how to help vairagya. Suji begins tonight. Having listened to what his brothers had told him, Narad puts his head to their feet, and with care, he says, I will perform this Gyan Yagya that you are advising me to do. And I wish that the text that Sukdev Goswami Vyas had narrated, had written, may it be done, may it be narrated, so that Bhakti, Gyan, Vairagya could be re-established. O Brahman, please tell me where I should perform this Yagya. Please describe it to me. I choose you to be the Vyas, to be the person to conduct this Yagya, as you are very knowledgeable. A person that you could respect. A person who is Vyas, somebody you could respect, somebody you adore, somebody in your innermost thoughts that you have that conviction. But suppose in this age of Kali Yuga, I'm putting mala for somebody, Vyas ji, Pandit ji, but I hate him. I ridicule him in my mind. then just for a moment, who is truly the loser in that prayer? Who is the person that has selected a person that is worthy of worship for me to get knowledge, to disseminate the answers to my life problems, but I am ill speaking, ridiculing, only who God knows what is going on here in my head. He is doing it different. He says, because of your proficiency in how to do Gyan Yagya, I put you, O brothers, so that for how many days you will endeavor into Bhagwat, then people, those blessed persons who have accrued karma, good karma, punyam, to come to even visit the Yagyashala. When I say Yagyashala, I mean where the yag is being held. Place of yag, place of the prayer. For example, at a person's home or in a temple. The Kumaras, listening, they smile at the humility, the proper attitude of this person. And he says, tell me, when should it be heard? What rites should be performed? Please, O brothers, where should I do it? The brothers said, O Narad, we will tell you of the place. The blessed place to have this for your purpose, for the benefit of people, to increase their religious merit. There is a place called Ganga Dwara in the city of Kamada. To the north, there's a divine river called Ananda. If you go in this place and you invite from the Devatas, the Siddhas, people that pray, people who live householder lifestyle, people who are living the recluse lifestyle like the Swami, everybody will benefit. This place is very calming. The trees, the soft creatures, the ground is very conducive for what, let me say, the shed or what they have to create in this place. In this place, it is very pleasing. The flowers that are blossoming the scent of the place is very wonderful. In the minds of every person that comes, if you should do it there, the environment blends with the purpose of the prayer, and it allows the individual to have the worship done, and they are able to get the outcome. Think about doing prayer and you're constantly being disturbed, or in some way not convenient. For this reason, there is no place that is perfect. In Kali Yuga, it becomes troublesome. So sometimes we do it at our homes, and sometimes we go to community center or a ground, like a festival ground, or you will see people go to a mandir, which is fine. In that place, there's no enmity. It's a very peaceful environment. So it is there you should have Gyan Yagya, where it is peaceful. The story of Bhagwat will be recited and it will bring unprecedented delight. Bhakti will come. She will leave the streets of Vrindavan, where she was as per yesterday's discourse. And from that old tattered body with tattered clothes, she will be reinvigorated by the company of good people listening to the pages and the glories of Bhagwat. Her sons will come, and from the nectar of Krishn's name, not from the Vyas opinion, not from my singing or the person's style of giving a dissertation, but from the name of Krishna, from the glory of his pastimes, the recitation of Bhagwat, dear Vairagya, Gyan will reinvigorate. And those people that are there to witness this, they will benefit. Having spoken like this, the brothers allowed Narad to make very quickly all preparation for prayer. Ganga Dwar was chosen, a good spot. They reached where Ganga and they collected their ingredients, and all invitations were sent out with humility. The invitation is supposed to be started on a particular day, a particular time. Brigu, Vashish, Chavyan, Gautam, Medati, and others, great munis, religious people, good people were invited. No limit. Sukdev Goswami, Vyas Muni, people who are very knowledgeable, great teachers with their disciples, those that did not know the innards of text. So there's no, okay, I only invite prayerful people or singing people. No, you invite everybody for this. Everybody is coming. Every imperfect person. If you are the type that says, "Oh, that girl was very," as saying it, that girl was very slack in her youth. That boy was a dokedam guy. He used to drink plenty rum, whatever. They never made time for temple, whatever. Those are the people you invite for these things, so that when they come to the Yagyashala, when they hear it, they will benefit. The Upanishads, the Vedas, the Suktam, all the different yantras, all of them manifested as the Devatas did. The other 17 Puranas, the 6 Sastras, they all came in human-like forms to sit in this Yagyashala just to see all that was happening. Places, lakes, holy spots, forests, different mountains, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, the islands, the different places, they manifested to come to the Yagya. Narad gave a beautiful seat to everybody. And he gives a wonderful Vyasasana to the Kumaras, allowing them to sit. And he devotes his time to Krishna. And he salutes everybody. Devotees of Vishnu Bhava came. They practiced celibacy. And they prayed that by coming here, by listening to this prayer, may it benefit me, benefit those around me, etc. Throughout all the areas, in different directions, the sunk was bellowed, and the vibration, the sound energy pushed away negative forces. When Brigu and others had come, dear now, it was time to start this reading. The Kumara says, please listen. According to the rules, we'll deal with that tomorrow night, the rules of Bhagwat. Wonderful greatness of this text is possible. Righteous people should always listen to the Katha of the Bhagwat Puran. By hearing it, a person becomes changed, different, contented. Something starts to happen inside. Greed, lust, anger, hatred, animosity, these things start to curb. Simple, where a person cannot imagine how to forgive somebody or how to move on from pain, from a hurtful occurrence, some abuse even. People, remember, part of being wise, knowledge is 1 + 1 is 2. Wisdom or wise is knowing how to apply what you know to fix the problems, how to troubleshoot. So let's see, amongst us tonight, there is somebody who has had financial abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and they cannot heal. The person is, they don't know who to talk to. They can't go to psychiatrists. They can't go to any, psychologist. There's no way. It seems as if they are stifling in the darkness of Kali Yuga. Even in that instance, where the person is suffering, they become changed, they become healed, and they become contented. There's no void inside of them anymore. Where to forget seems impossible. By listening to Bhagwat, this text, which comprises of 18,000 slokas, 12 skand or section, let me say books, compartments, in the form of a dialogue between Raja Parikshit, who we mentioned last night, and Sukdev Goswami, the Guru, who is narrating. As long as this text is chanted, so long people get over the delusions of ignorance. So far as it is used in this method, people will be able to escape the sansar, as we mentioned last night, and allowing mukti to be achieved. If people become devoted or devotees, but they do not listen to Bhagwat, what then, O Narad, is the sense in listening, digesting any other scripture? It is as if the person has reached a point, but they cannot complete the journey. They're stuck halfway. The houses where people have Bhagwat narrated, those places become equivalent to different Tirat, Prayag, Kashi, Gaya, etc. By going there, when a person journeys to a yag, they get blessings by overcoming sin. Not hosting the yag, just go to the yag, walk to the yag, and you get that. No matter if a person does thousands of Ashwamedha Yagya, Rajsuya Yagya in this Kali Yuga, those types of yag are 1/16, 1/16, the value of a Bhagwat Yagya. O Narad, sins remain in this body so long as the person does not listen to Bhagwat Katha. It is unfortunate when people rely on Ganga, Gaya, Kashi, Pushkar, and they forget to listen to Bhagwat. It is not the same. It is not the same or equivalent in terms of blessing. The Bhagwat is still trumping or still winning higher quality than Gaya, Ganga, etc. If you desire the destruction of mundane existence, then that person should recite on a daily basis by their own mouth one verse, a quarter of a verse of Bhagwat. This is where I know for the elders looking on, remember there was a saying mantra, there's a start satsang with it. Kayena vacha. That is a verse of Bhagwat that was chanted. I'll explain that tomorrow night. This is the power of Bhagwat. Bhagwat is the mother. It is as if the power of the Veda is in there. The Purusha Suktam, that value is there. Ved is in Bhagwat Mata, and the two formulas that come from the Vaishnav Upanishad, these 12 Upanishad that has the 12 syllable mantra, which is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, that according to Garud Puran, Prit Manjali, it says the person who chants it burns away lifetimes of sin like ash, burns it to ash, no matter what it is. The 8 syllable mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya, these prayer, they are there in Bhagavad. The sun, time, Brahman, maintaining sacred fire, worship cow, all these things are to be worshipped. All these things are to be cognizant in this yagya. When Purushottam is ruling, that is the time for Bhagavad. There is no difference. O Narad, when the sins of a Brahman, the sins of a person, every day when this person would read Bhagavad, even the Brahman is able to come out of all the mistakes, sins, past sins that have accumulated on that person. Everybody benefits. To those people that listen, recite, think, in your mind, try to make sense of what I heard, remembering, as we said, Smaranam last night, those people get saved, salvation, due to that devotion. He, that individual full of devotion, free from pride, limits their diet. Let's say you're sitting for prayer and you control your diet, restrain your senses, controlling lust, etc. The person who could listen to Bhagavad, they are going to be able to obtain great amount of benefit. He, that person at the time of death, when it is approaching, abandons all fear. Blessed is that person when those persons, when their life have to leave the body, they can hear Bhagavad, they obtain salvation. Even if wicked persons are born and they never control their mind, but they are able to listen to the Katha of Krishna, regardless to the quality of this life, even if they live like a beast in this life, they have tormented their mother, tormented their father. The life of those people, if they have not listened to Bhagavad, they are going to suffer. But if that person is able in their last moments, and I'm saying it this way, I'm making sure I'm reading this carefully for you. If a person has committed abortion, if you know your sin, if a person has cheated in their marriage, if a person has made their mistakes, if they're in their youth, fought brother, sister, court, they were unfair to somebody, they were hurtful to mother and father, we have all made sins and mistakes. If the person leaves this life like a beast, like an animal, they are a burden on this earth. But if the person should take delight in listening to Bhagwat, the Bhagwat discourse is able to rid them of the sin, and their existence upon the earth while life is still within the body becomes a blessing. They start to see happiness, they start to see equilibrium, they start to see balance. A good person, the story of Vishnu Baba should be heard every day. Oh Narad, there is no rule. It could be in the morning, it could be in the night, it could be any time. Listening to it, the person will naturally want to embrace truthfulness. As they age celibacy in this Kali Yuga, this Kali Yuga, there is a special rule in for those of you that read in our Hindu text, there are different ways people would fast to take out a souch or unclean. In different yoga, it had different period of time, but it says in Kali Yuga 10 days. Everything comes together, all the casts, 10 days. In the same way, in Kali Yuga, it says it is specifically listed that Saptaha or 7 days is the specified time. Listening to the Bhagavad for this prescribed 7 days on account of the lack of man's ability to control their mind, to control disease, the shortened lifespan that is going to get shorter and shorter as Kali Yuga progress. It is possible to control a person's mind for a short period like 7 days, but after that the mind becomes chanchal. They want to do, they want to eat, they want to go, they want to copulate, they want to do these things. Therefore, the rule is formed that the 7 days is set aside. The fruit which is had by devotedly listening every day for these 7 days is laid down by Sukadeva Goswami. The fruit is not, it would not be possible to get all this amount of punyam, goodness, by any form of penance, meditation, concentration in the same 7-day period. For example, somebody does Shivratri Vrat. If they can't do Shivratri, the equivalent to that, you have to go and do Nil Jal Brat, no water, every Monday on the Somvar or the Monday for 1 year to get the same benefit. This now is telling you in 7 days, listen to the Bhagwat. There is no amount of vrat or fasting or japing or mantra jap, etc. that could compare to it in such a short period of time. Bhagwat for 7 days, reciting, listening. When it says recite, it means also you have caused another person. You are the root cause. The Pandit is saying it, but it is because of your invitation, and I, the guest, has come. So you are by and large the reciter. I have come because so and so invite me by the house, and I've come to the yag. And when they listen and they get the benefit, the host, the person doing the invitation, gets blessings. It is said that when you could do this invitation and bring people together for this type of purpose, and you allow them to sit and engage in good conversation, allow them to enjoy prasad, or for them to maybe put flowers by the murti, sweat for Mahavishnu, do some seva, then it is better than performing any type of vow, penance, meditation, acquiring knowledge, visiting different places. That person is getting more and more punyam by simple 7 days vrat. When Krishna was ready to go to his place and he was leaving this earth, Yudhava had said the following to him. The brothers are speaking to Narad and they're telling him that Yudhava, for those of you that were with us last year when we were doing that skand, where Yudhava, it is where what forms the Yudhav Gita. This is a part of that. O Krishna, after accomplishing all your mission and the mission of all the devatas, you now desire to return to Golok, which is beyond the space and the different levels. Therefore, Lord, I worry about the separation that is going to happen between me and yourself. Please, Prabhu, remove it. I am coming, I am throwing myself at your feet out of refuge. Please guide me. This terrible Kali Yuga is coming. In all people there will be wickedness. What should be done? Who will shelter this earth? Who will be this earth that will be full of burden? Who will help her? O Yadhunandan, You are the protector of all. Please, Kriparaj, merciful Lord, King of mercy, please help us. Show him pity on us. Stay here. Don't leave. Don't go anywhere. Oh Lord, you have manifested yourself for the protection of good. Even though you are formless, even though you are beyond goodness and blissfulness, your devotees will not remain on earth and be happy when they separate from you. It is difficult to worship you when you have no form, when you are invisible. It is hard to conceive. Therefore, tell me what to do. What is the good? Sudji says, having heard the words of Yudhava, Krishna, Vishnu Baba, thought for a moment, and being full of compassion, gave him Bhagwat, gave him a conversation, a teaching, that having deposited his personal energy in it, Yudhava received, as it were, the content, the quality of this text. Due to this image of Vishnu being held together in the words of this Puran, by constantly resorting to it, going to it, walking around the physical text, or the person that has the knowledge to explain it, the sins of men will perish. Know that my time upon the earth is come to an end. But as I return, my luster, my tage is within the pages of Bhagwat. Listen to it for 7 days, Yudhava, and the blessings and the protection that you wish to have will come from it. The same is echoed in the Gita, Bhagavad Gita Mahatyam, which Lord Shiva had already given to Parvati Mata in this Padma Puran, where he says, I protect this world from the Bhagavad Gita. O Narad, the listener, the speaker, the person who questions why, what, how, please clarify, becomes one with Krishna. Bhagwat is capable of removing misery, poverty, when a person is born with bad luck. Let's say, again, how to use the tools that we have. Think about a girl who is born breech, a girl who is born with the sap or the snake upon your body. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, they undergo a very hard married life. They undergo a lot of troubles in pregnancy. They undergo a rough life. And what could I do? What could I do? What could I do? I want you to piece together the puzzle in your mind. Tonight you are becoming the pundit. You as the elder in your family, you as the person in your mandir, in your community, would have to give advice to a relative. Don't matter the ill luck, don't matter the jyotis, don't matter the karma, don't matter the patra, don't matter the birth chart, all these things. The lines on the forehead, the lines on the hand. Sin is causing those problems, and they're going through trouble. What can I do to help myself? Go and listen to Bhagwat. Take part in the prayer. Sit for the prayer. Use the opportunity to wash yourself of that sin. Become freed from it. Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki Jai. How else will a person be able to overcome the Maya of the Lord? And even the Devatas will come for the help that Bhagwat will bring. Having been told the greatness of the Bhagwat, they commence narrating the story, the innards of Bhagwat itself. When the narration of the Bhagwat, the essence of the Vedas and the Upanishad commenced, Bhakti in a moment manifested herself there. Remember what I said, when you listen to Bhagwat, the only thing you're left with is this emotion. You feel, if you know what you're doing, you feel as if you are seeing Krishna dancing on Kalia. One of my favorite discourse, when Krishna is dancing on the teeth of Kalia, and you hear how Mother Yashoda, when she sees her boy with those little foot, you know, when the blood close to the skin is, the artist in the picture shows it red. The red foot is dancing on the fangs of the snake, and everybody is watching how powerful when the singer Kya Hai Balla, the ball, he's playing with this ball, this world is the ball. Krishna has the ball in his hand, and Balram is leaning on it. All leave him, he do any work, all leave him, don't bother with him. Hold, I need your help. Give him a chance, more or less. He held them back. And everybody is in his amazement. Look how he beating all the head in Kalia. But Yashoda Mata, or the devotee, when she saw him, she started to bawl. She started to cry. Because look, my boy is in trouble. My boy is in danger. And she started to bawl. She started to squeal that her baby is in danger. And when the person now listening to it becomes as if you could see your child with their feet on the fangs of a snake. Bhagwat gives you that vision, that drishti to see it. When a person like this, they became engrossed into the discourse, Bhakti manifested in the Yagyashala. She was full of love, now very young. Her two sons were full of joy, their hands no longer withered and wrinkled, but by the name Krishna, Govind, Hare, Murari, He Nath. As the crowd sang, that assembly rose. The sank was bellowed as the gifting of the cloth, the dressing of the murtis, the different worship that was being done. Narad saw the divinity walk into his prayer. And everybody is asking, how is it that she came? Where did she come from? Oh, Vyasji, oh Kumaras, how is it that she has manifested here? And Vyasji says it is because of the content of this Gyan Yagya. Bhakti, the woman who is in this young form, she says, though perished because of the contact with this Kali Yuga, today my body is nourished. I am dressed elegantly because of this Bhagwat Yagya. Where shall we sit? Show me the seat. Oh, Shota, Narad Muni, show me where you want me to sit. And having heard the words, the son of Brahma got up from his worship and he found a beautiful seat. And he says, Ma, sit here. And whatever disease, here is, whatever disease is hitting the people that come to this yagya or wherever Bhagwat is being read, whatever disease is hitting them, whether it be physical, mental, hormonal, spiritual, if you are feeling for the ladies here, follow me. I feel in the night different things are touching my body, physical touch. And I don't know, I've tried the blacktail, I've tried Hanuman Chalisa, I have Nischaya Prema Pratiti Te Vinaya Kare Sanaman. People are threatening you. You are seeing eggs and chicken blood and different things by your doorway, bones. People are threatening you. Whatever the disease that is afflicting people in their mundane existence, for people that have offered blood in their family. If I don't say it, who goes say it? Don't vex with nobody. Panic is the bad one. In people's families, when they do different types of prayer, Parameshwari, the name this girl, Parameshwari never said anywhere that she wanted blood. Some people say that she wanted blood. Different parampara. People offered blood. And the old people did it. But now the young people, maybe they change religion or they change their thinking and they don't want to do it. However, it is proven that you will see a cutting off, a curtailing of the generation. People become infertile. People die prematurely. The elders are living, the young people are dying. What could I do? Allow them, Mother, by your grace, when they step foot, every time they walk to the Yagyashala where the Bhagwat is being read, and they walk and they come, free them from their predicament, free them from the trap, free them from that which they cannot overcome. I don't know how else to explain this to you, but I am trying. See where this could fit in your life and apply it accordingly. The Kumaras listening to what was done, his request, his prayer. The Vyas says, wherever there are good devotees, wherever people come with good intention, this is why, in my capacity, whenever I'm reading, I always tell people, walk with flowers, bring sweet. You come to that Yagyashala and that Devta is watching you. You didn't come to make numbers. Sometimes at Kali Yuga, people don't know why they go to Yag. And maybe you're making up numbers in the chairs. Maybe you're not taking part in the puja, but by coming and you're practicing the darshanam, watching, and you are seeing or listening to the prayer, you're getting the blessing as if you did the prayer. Come with the sweet flowers and offer it. Let it go into the puja. Contribute to that prayer so that when they use your flower, you will be able to get the benefit. When they can concentrate their mind from going astray, when the person makes offerings to the feet of Mahavishnu, the flowers, and more, prasad, etc. People contribute. You're having Bhagwat, I'll give you 2 aloo, I'll give you 1 grain of chana, whatever you could afford, without crying on it. Then you're going to get it. The blemishes that are due to Kali Yuga will be removed. Led by Narad, he held on to the hand of Bhakti, Vairagya, Gyan. He put them sit, and he worshipped them for all to see. For this reason, in this entire world where poor people, poor in terms of health, poor in terms of money, poor in terms of family, poor in terms of happiness, when they worship Bhagwat in the same way, Mahavishnu releases joy, happiness, goodness to that person here and the hereafter. Principle of Vrindavan, Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Now I just want to go on to the next chapter. Chapter 196, as the conversation, as the yag is going on. Let's hear what happens as Sutji continues. Shiva Om Hari Om Hari Om Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayana Satya Yeyati Bhagwat Bharata Provachanam Yagyapal Yena Nadartam Maranam Yeti Saptayati Narayanaya Krishnaya Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Bhagwat Mahatyam Yenati Sapalinam Atmadev Katha Dhundhuli Prishtayeyatam Dhundhakari Gokarna Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. As we move into our next chapter, now the Bhagwat Mahatyam is roughly 5, depending on the print, 5-6 chapters. It's not very long. And I want to complete it for you in this yagya. Many people, when I was planning to do this, as always, I spend the morning part, if I'm not in prayer, answering questions on the various groups and the messages that people send me. People have heard the katha of Gokarna, Dhundhakari. For older people, you've known it. But for some reason, people don't use the word Bhagwat, Mahatyam. They say Bhagwat. So they think that this, what I'm about to touch on, comes in the context of Bhagwat, that the person is reading Bhagwat. For all my young pundits out there, please take note. This is an illustration of how useful Bhagwat is, and I'll read it in entirety. When you are going to read this discourse for Shrotas, for devotees, for Shishya, you have to read the entire discourse. You have to read to the end where Gokarna becomes the Vyas. If you do not do that, you are not completing the Katha and you are giving the individual a portion. It is incomplete. So please don't make that mistake. For those people that have done that, and you have made the mistake, you know it to yourself, make sure and sit down and do Gayatri Jap and ask forgiveness for making an error. It happens. We all make mistakes. This morning someone messaged that, and think about this, I don't know if you've heard or you've had somebody in this situation. Very regular, people call me and they ask about the predicaments, the problems that they find themselves in. So for one individual, they said that their parent died and they were guided not to do the funeral, but not to do the 10 days and meaning each day after the picking up of the bone, pinda, and then don't do the 10-day ritual in, Dashgat. Don't do that. Don't do it at all. Don't do anything. None is done. And go and just do Bandara. Not to go into the value or the purpose or the relevance of the Dashgatra. Sometimes because of physical distance, because of different advice, your own health. In COVID, for example, we had a father died and the boy who is doing the worship, unfortunately, the virus was in the home, the guy dies. So it prohibits that person from doing the prayer. He died. Different things happen. Sometimes things are interrupted. Let's not dwell on how it happened, but consider it happened. And when it happens, in this example, and I'm harping on this point where the 10 days is not done, meaning the purpose of that 10 days, and I agree that it is an assumption, let me state this very clear. A person can die, just like in Bhagwat where we hear about a Jamil, a person can die thinking of Krishna, calling Krishna, and the people may not know, and the soul goes to God. I agree. But in the offset chance that we don't know where the soul is, the family assumes that this is the worst case scenario and we are making preparations for that, just as a safety. So we are doing, the soul comes out of the body like this, like a deer light, truthfully, and the 10 days is done to help evolve the soul, to give it facets that are given in Garud Puran, and like the 9th and 10th pinda, thirst and hunger is given to this form, making it now ready to travel. If that evolution is not happening, the soul is not ready to travel. In Garud Puran, when you hear about the Katha of Brabhavan, the king, just to remind those of you, pundits, listening, and for those people who might be going through the pangs of loss, please listen. There's this king, he goes to the forest, and whilst drinking water, when we finish soup water, sometimes we Jai Vishnu, I do it, Jai Vishnu, thank you God, and he sprinkled, and there's this saying for children, Jambi, boot, ghost, whatever, started to approach him, long story short. And when the king sees him, he says, you have such a horrific form, tell me what sin you did, so that I don't fall into this trap. And he says, King, I've been living in this forest, and I'm summarizing because of time, I've been living in this forest for so long, and that little water that you said Jai Vishnu, because of his name, Jai Vishnu, Vishnu Baba, I was able to touch and benefit from it. Today I want to tell you, I was not a bad person. My problem, Garud Puran is what I'm quoting, Prit Manjari. I died. I lived a very good life. I gave dawn. I did yoga. I did, everything for my mother and father. I took care of them. But when I died alone. I died in secret. Let me just say in the middle of the forest. Nobody knew I died. Nobody did funeral
Nobody did 10 days, etc. Pindadan, Sapindadan, these things were not done. So my soul was not able to migrate, to start to meet Yamraj, to start to inherit the good and bad. For those of you that are familiar with the travel and the transmigration of the soul, it is only when the soul reaches to Yamraj that the good and bad tallying happens. So if the soul cannot depart, there's going to be a delay. So the soul is now prate, because it is only when Sapinda is done, you go from prate to Pitri. Now you have to work with me. Remember, I said last night, this is not ABC Ketchakrab. So you have to know your Dharma in order to understand. If that prayer, for whatever reason, is not done, as you will hear now, the soul is going to suffer. And the answer, besides doing certain rituals such as Narayan Bali, such as Nandi Mokshad, there are prayers that could be done. There are prayers that, troubleshooting wise, we could do to do it. Bhagwat becomes integral part of that prayer as well. Let's hear what happens. Sujji says, seeing the extraordinary devotion in the minds of all the devotees, Vishnu himself left Vaikuntha and came to earth when Narad was doing his puja. He appeared there, full form, on the Bedi, where the puja was done. He's wearing his garland of flowers. He's very dark. He's wearing his pitambar, or his yellow dhoti, wearing the crown. All the devatas saw the earrings that are made in the shape of crocodiles. Very charming. He has the custom jewelry, different things. The sandal paste is on his body. Hari Chandan is on his body. He was the image of joy, and his presence brought, you ever go to a place and you just feel peaceful or calm, happy, joy? He added to that. Beyond what they were already feeling, peaceful and good. The vibration, the energy of the place went up because of his presence. He entered further into the heart of each person, each devotee, and gave them the emotion, gave them the ability for the time spent in that Yagyashala to hold to their prayer, to control their mind, to control their want and desires. Oh, I studied the chana cooking, I studied the shatain, I wonder what to make, I wonder what sweets I'll get. For just a little bit, by the grace of God, they were just thinking about God. They were just happy in that moment. And they were able to ascend to that higher plane in their mind due to his presence, due to his energy. That tranquility came listening to the story of Mahavishnu.
Principal of Indravan Bihari Lalaki, Jai Sitaram, everybody. So I interrupting your yagya briefly just to remind everybody. This year's yagya, Bhagwat yagya at the ashram, Sri Krishna Seva Ashram, is going to happen on the 3rd of August to the 10th of August. This is the 7 days, 3 times for the day, normal yagya. And on the Sunday, we're going to do Visarjan. Everybody, every single person is invited. If you would like to take part, to get involved, to help cook, to help make prasad, to help sit for prayer, if you would like to bring flowers, cut up mango wood for people who have cow, to bring gobar for we to burn in the fire, I need your help and I invite you to get involved. Of course, I expect you to be fasting and prepare yourself properly. For all those people who would like to sit, especially my elders, use the opportunity. Come with us, join with us. Call me, you have my number on the screen as we get back to the Yagna. Call me, message me, WhatsApp me so that you could get involved. Everybody, again, on behalf of the team and myself and Mummy Baba, we are opening the door. We are calling you. We are inviting you in the name of Lord Krishna to come and take part in your Bhagwat. Looking out to hearing from you. Everybody give me a call or message me. Sitaram.
And then from the peacefulness, from the quietness, there came a shout, Jai Narayan, Jai Vishnu. As the prayer was going on, the sank, the ganta, bajave, things started to make noise, and all the inauspiciousness of the fierce Kali Yuga had to stay outside, as the people were now protected inside the Yagyashala. Narad Muni, knowing the truth that the super soul Mahavishnu was present, Narad said, "Oh Vyasji, oh brothers, those sitting and reading the greatness, the Mahatyam of this Saptaha Bhagwat, reading of and listening to the Bhagwat, which I now understand is very uncommon. It is not common in this age of Kali Yuga. It is not that this will be around every corner, in every place. When they are doing the Mati Kurna to bring the mud for mother to come and sit in the Bedi, when they do the Ganesh prayers to bless the entrance and they're doing all the steps, that doesn't happen in every place. It is going to be quite common that people will do prayer for Rajas or Tamasic means, method, purpose, secondary motive to show people, to look as if they're holy, to encourage people to think one way, but in a hypocritical way, they're different. He says, if a person can find the setting where Mahavishnu is present, even foolish people, wicked people, beasts, birds, they attain the highest position. Oh brothers, there is no other text that could purify a person to better people than this text. Oh brothers, I am learning. It is allowing the blemishes of past sins to be destroyed. Please tell me who are not purified by devotional bhakti or the acts that are conducted, listening, reading of Bhagwat for these 7 days. Please answer that question, if you could describe that. Is there a person, a so degraded, bad, worse person that will not be able to incur good things from Bhagwat? Those people, the Kumaras started to answer. Those people who are sinners, very wicked, engaged in doing bad acts, jealousful, burning inside because of envy, jealousy, anger, crookedness, passionate, lusty, they go to Mahavishnu very quickly by devotional acts that are committed during the 7 days Saptaha Bhagwat Yag. You may not be the pujari, you may not be the shrota, but you came and you helped sweep the temple or the Yagyashala. You fixed the chairs. You did sweat, wiping leaves, fixing the food, cooking, cutting Dhundhakari. You slaved. You became a dasi. You became his servant, not for the pandit, not for the shrota, not for people. You did it for Mahavishnu. The person who does these type of work, these people, no matter their past, no matter their previous birth, they are sent to heights. Those who are without truth, there's no truth in them. Those people who have harmed, damned, censured father or mother. Let me just make a little cut here. This have a little tickle in it. I want to pick on things like, for the benefit of people who have a parent in a dementia, a parent with Alzheimer's, a parent who is sickly, ailing, a person who is, troublesome. My own mother, the parent is always, I am your mother, I make you. Merlin, my mother, was known for that. But sometimes when the doctor guide, they don't like to listen to children. As a son are saying this. They don't like to listen to children. They don't like to hear, maybe it's time to not take birthday cake when it's birthday. I's a big man, I's a big man, and I will do as I please. Baba, many people. Baba, when they start to forget, when they start to accuse you, your teeth how is called the mohar or the whatever, bera, with your teeth and my insurance, you're beating me, and they're telling people lies, not truth. And the child who is at home trying to do the diligence, and I'm just picking on one scenario, I am not saying that this is the end all, but it is just one aspect of the scenario. How difficult it could be in that scenario. And I just want to make mention, I am encouraging that if people are incapable of taking care of somebody, too often we taboo and bastardize going to getting proper care, getting an old age home where somebody might be able to better assist the person with a pampers or to the toilet. I, Pandit Keshava, am on the other hand very mindful that we can only do so much. And if you ill-treat the person, if you give them the wrong diet, if you give them the wrong nutrition, could be a detriment to the patient. So if you get advice from a doctor, if you are assisted by a nurse, if you are helped by a home, especially I'm limiting my contribution to the example of dementia and or Alzheimer's, there's nothing wrong in that. The person is being treated with respect. You are not abdicating or putting aside your duty. You are getting help. Nobody says the child has to become the person to give mommy and daddy every injection. You go to a doctor, you get help. The child is in the cardiologist to do a bypass surgery, you get help. You pay somebody to assist you. In the same way, if it is that the care for the parent, the respect for the parent is maintained through the hands of another person, that is not a dharmic. Of course, it have people who use that for dharmic reasons. That is different. But think about a child, just for our conversation tonight, who has had the experience, and I've been a pundit in many families. Baba, last night, mommy took off the pampers and she went and she lit it on the stove. Mommy says she was cooking and the pampers reached in the sink and she started to do something there. She started to open the front door and was going outside. Mommy took off she clothes and she was going, and I really opened my mouth. I really opened my mouth and I yell at my mother. And now mommy gone, but I'm living with the guilt. What to do? Even those people who have censured, made mistakes with their mother and father, who are full of thirst even in this world to achieve some end in this life, regardless of caste, regardless of finance, regardless of the ashram in your life. People who ill speak their dharma when they was young, and now as they age, they are finding their way to Mahavishnu, and they do these things even if they have committed terrible sins, deceitful, cruel, pitiless. They don't even imagine. When we are offering pinda, for example, in Bandara, we offer a baker pinda, or for everybody pinda. Anybody need help, dear Lord, look, we offer in a pinda, we put it on the side. The little pinch of food we just take out when we offer, if in case it have any lost soul spirit, only eat something by the grace of Mahavishnu. People who have no pity even for souls like that, they don't do those things. Much more for living animals, people. They don't do that. They only focus on feeding themselves, gathering wealth. They are adulterous. These people go quick to Mahavishnu when they do different types of goodly acts in the course of a Saptaha Bhagwat. Those wicked ones, violently, always committing sinful acts with their body, with their words, with their minds. Think about your speech, the different thief or hit or abuse, etc. People who are mean, ungrateful, impure, wicked-hearted, they go to Lord Vishnu when devotional bhakti ridden devotional acts are extended in the Saptaha. So when somebody says they have Bhagwat, you will see a different energy. Look at your elders if you're a stranger to this concept. They want to go. You have to go. Your family having Bhagwat, it have Bhagwat up the road. I don't care how far it is. I want to reach. I want to go. This is where it is coming from. Then, when Narad had finished honoring all the guests and all the devatas, and the Kumaras were further pleased with him, and they continued in their discourse. For the benefit of all those who are here, please listen to an old, very old account, to the ability, based on your question, Narad, who cannot get help? The destructive power of this Bhagwat when it comes to destruction of sin. Please listen to this. In the city, in an old time, long time, Kolahala, full of proper practicing people who lived via their caste, their ashram, people who acted appropriately. Human life flourished, wealth, grains. The place was very fertile. There by the river Tungabhadra, a great Brahman Pandit, Atmadev, lived. He was very proficient in texts and rites, religious rites, sanskar, puja, etc. Different type of praschit karma, he could do it. His wife is called Dhundhuli. Dhundhuli, on the other hand, is of a different nature. She is engaged in things of a selfish nature. She is only regulated when she wants to regulate her body, her speech, her mind. She is of the opinion she is too beautiful. She comes from the best family, and when she got married to this man, it was a step down in terms of societal view, money, etc. Generally, she talks too much, and she talks things that are not of a good nature. She is very good in domestic duties, but her personality is very cruel, very quarrelsome. And to make matters worse, this couple have no children. Where they were staying, as years are passing, Dhundhali reaches to the age 50. For us, let's say menopause. They, being childless, lived unhappy in that house because of their difference in character. It becomes tumultuous to live with that different nature. Atmadev wants to do prayer, Dhundhali wants to do otherwise. He wants to live selfless, she wants to live selfish. For example, for the birth of a child, they gave at different times different forms of wealth. They gave cows, land, gold, garment, and they prayed. But due to their past deeds, neither son nor daughter also being a blessing, to be clear. And at one time, Atmadev became very despondent, dejected, unhappy, and he couldn't take it anymore, and he left the home, went to the forest with his mind overcome by grief. He didn't want to eat, he didn't want to do anything. Thirsty, he went close to a lake that was there. And whilst he is catching the water in his hand and drinking, always talking to God in his way, God, what kind of life is this, God? What is my life? What is the purpose of my life? Oh Narad, by chance a great Siddha came in the same place to drink a little water. And at that same place, this sannyasi saw Atmadev drink the water, and then he touched the Guru foot and he bowed. And the two of them sat by the bank of that river and started to talk. And the sannyasi being able to read the individual, sensed that something was plaguing his heart, and he asked about the affliction. He says, Atmadev, we are now known to each other, but please, my friend, tell me what is the cause of your grief. What is plaguing you? You know all the religious practice, but still you're tormented. With all your knowledge, why are you still in this paradigm? Hearing this word from this holy Siddha, Atmadev started to tell him, what should I tell you about this grief that has accumulated because of my past deeds? My ancestors, they are suffering. I have no children to do Tarpan, to do Pinda, to do Sapinda, to do Narayan Bali, to help anybody, Nandi Mokshad, to do any of these things. There's nobody. So they are burning and I am burdened because after me there will be nobody. Dejected I am. I've come here to give up on this life. It is better I die. I cannot live with this unhappiness. My house has no progeny. What will I do with the wealth, the house, the land? What will I do with it? All the knowledge I have no young pandit to train. Even the cow that lives in my place, they become barren because they are my animal. And because of contact with somebody as sinful as me, they are pain. The trees that grow in my property, they are barren. So sinful am I. I have no luck. I am childless. I am suffering. Oh, great sannyasi. Sanak says, speaking like this, he's oppressed by grief and he started to wail. Started as he's confessing his feelings, he started to cry, and great compassion rose up in the heart of this sage. And the wise one, looking at the lines he's reading here, the lines on his forehead, the marks on his body, looking at Atmadev, he tells him about moles and different marks have given this discourse that God made your body in the way it is made as an indicator of past sins. He placed mole, for example, in different places. The way marks are on your skin, birthmarks, etc. For example, we reference the sapin just now, another mark on your body indicative of past sins. So he's seen these marks and he says, Atmadev, these things are on your body. And because of these things, it is indicative that this is your fate. Your having a son is not seen from now till 7 times you will born, go, 7 births from now you will have children. Give up this persistence. Verse 40 of chapter 196. Give up this persistence. Give up this, you're causing yourself to be sad. Give it up. As fate would have it, fate is very powerful, that you would be able to have the type of child that you want after 7 birth, after karma is purged from your body. Taking this knowledge, oh my friend, be happy that one day you will have it. For now, be at peace. Hearing these words of this Siddha, this great Atmadev, with his heart still, and I think me and you could understand this, you still want what you want. He didn't want to hear what the older guy says. He says, excuse, I am not going to be happy. You have the right knowledge. Give me a son, even if it means by force. If it is against fate, change the fate. Otherwise, I will have to cast off my life here and now. Seeing his persistence, the ascetic said, Sagad, the king of Anga, obtained misery. Chitraketu became miserable when he tried inappropriately to change his fate. Therefore, you who are known and knowledgeable of different procedures, you are not going to be happy if it is done inappropriate. The sun is not going to bring goodness to you if the steps are not followed. Fate is powerful, careful. So saying, the Siddha, honored by the goodness of Atmadev, manifested a fruit in his hand. This best of Brahman, as he saw Atmadev's fixation, gave him the fruit. And he says, O Atmadev, take this fruit that I am giving you now and give it to your wife, and she will become pregnant and full with a child. She will have a son. Undoubtedly, a son will come. The wife, for 1 year, in order for that child to be of a good nature, should resort for that first year while she's pregnant and after the child is born, truthfulness. She should practice purity, physical bathing, in thinking, in talking, practice kindness, charity, and she should only eat once for the day. Remember, we talked about Dhundhakari already. The son would be pure and it would be complete in terms of changing both your feet. Speaking like this, that saint left Atmadev there. And Atmadev happily came home quick with the fruit in his hand, gave it to Dhundhakari. He gives her the full instruction, the prescription is there. Follow it and you'll get what you want. Don't follow it, you'll get damaged. She goes, when the husband left now, thinking, well, Atmadev thinks Dhundhakari is going to eat the fruit. She goes and she tells the neighbor, the friend, if I eat that fruit, by what the ascetic gave, I will become pregnant. And in this old age, now menopause, 50 as we were told, how will I be able to bear it? I will not be able to stomach food. I will have no strength. He's talking about eating once. If the fetus becomes slanted inside of me, I will die. If there's a problem in that time, remember there's no C-section. How can I in this delicate state bear the pangs of delivery? When shall I be able to go through all of this pain? I am worried. I don't know what to do. In this way, and she doesn't want to tell the husband this. The friend says, well, it's true. It's true. It is, she agrees. What else to say? Due to this wrong reasoning, she did not eat the fruit at all. When her husband asked her, have you eaten the fruit? I have eaten it. So she lies. Once, her sister, not too long after, came. And the sister, from her home, she tells her sister what is going on. This is my problem. If I eat the fruit, I'll become pregnant. So the sister says, I am pregnant. I am carrying. After I deliver my child, I will give that child to you. I will tell everybody the child died. Till that time, I will live here. When the baby comes, my baby will become your baby. And my baby will officially die. But I will have the milk. And I will feed and caress your baby, because you will not be able to make the milk. And we will nourish this child and grow this child. Take that fruit and throw it for the cow. Atma Dev will never know the truth. Throws the cow, throw the fruit to the cow eats it. Speaking in this way, the sister went back home and they have their plan. Dhundhakari did as the sister says, and she tells the husband, Atma Dev, that, she's now pregnant. And soon she's going to give birth. And because of the switching of the child, when the sister make the baby, they make it look as if Dhundhakari brought the baby into the world. But Dhundhakari says another lie. She says to the husband, but my bosom is not making milk. But my sister is full of milk from her breast. If you permit her to live here for the nourishment of this child, she will feed this child so that our child will not die from hunger and our child will live. In this way, at the words of Dhundhakari, confused Atma Dev was wondering how she's not making milk, but it is what it is. Okay, for the benefit of the child, let the sister, the Mausi, mother's sister, feed the baby. The mother named the child Dhundhakari. The boy obtained nourishment from Mausi, and after 3 months had passed, even the cow gave birth. The physical child comes from the cow, human in nature, standing on 2 feet, etc. But the heirs is very big. But when when he's born, he's glowing with that divinity. People in the area, in the gram, in the village, they were starstruck. What is happening in Atma Dev house? 1 minute, you can't have children. Now look at next child born, and it come from the cow nonetheless. Look at this divinity. Look at from the cow a human. What type of destiny is this? Prayers really works, boy. Atma Dev is truly an inspiration. Look at that child. This beautiful child, because of his heirs having the bent for children, having the bent nitya, like a cow, they called him Gokarna. Gokarna or Gokaran, referring to the cow, the heirs. After some time, they both, as they grew up together like brothers, Gokaran was more learned, he was more wise, he would pick up everything, not only spiritual, but manners, science, the art. Last night I was talking about my first encounter with a brushing cutlass. The art of doing something, he was helpful. To put this in perspective, there are children, I see it quite regular, there are children who are willing to help, and then there are children who are very lazy. Willing and able and interested, they may not know what to do. But you come temple here in the ashram and you will hear, Auntie Priya, can I help you cut up the carrot? They don't know nothing. They cannot use a device, knife, KitchenAid, nothing. But they have the right attitude. In the same way, Gokaran had this wisdom and this right attitude. Dhundhakari is of a different nature from youth. He is very, when they say wicked, he evades, he outsmarts. Have you ever had somebody like that? A child? They're young, they're not the killer, they're not the murderer, they're not a liar, but they are very cunning. You have something to do, the correct behavior. Remember, we spoke about chapter 16, Bhagwat Gita. They know what is right, what is to be done, what is not to be done. Somebody like Dhundhakari, we go in and cook parsad. Hold on, I have to run to the toilet. And the child run to the toilet and they take out the phone and TikTok lagawe. And they yeah, ma, come in now. And lying through the gum and the teeth that they in the what the mother going and say, come out of the toilet? Poor mother, make the parsad itself. Dhundhakari, just to be on the straight, that is what they are seeing. They're young. What will they do? They evade the work. So he evades things like bathing, purity in different forms, brushing teeth, bathe, toilet manners, washing hand after the toilet. For children looking on, are you Gokarna? Are you Dhundhakari? Which one are you? He likes to eat prohibited things. So the mother fasting, good for prayers. The child go in and eat the different things outside. Mommy, I go no, for example. He is full of rage when the mother correct him. When anybody talk to him, he can't take correction. He evolved into a thief. He hated people, racial, prejudicial, and kept the company of wicked people who had wicked focus. He forcibly seized children when they were playing when he was young, and he would take their ball, for example. He's very wicked. He throws the ball in the well just so that they can't be happy. As he grew older, he became addicted to prostitute. He squandered whatever gifts his father would give him, whatever money, gold, he would use it for friends and for entertainment purposes only. And like this, like a helpless person, his poor father wept because he knew the truth. He saw it. And the father himself says, a childless person is a happy person. A bad child is the true cause of grief. Now I remember what that sadhu was saying is true. Where should I go? Where can I run from my problem? What will remove my misery? I put myself in this. Regardless to advice, I wanted this. And how to become free from this? Jump in fire? Fall from a precipice? To him, his father was just like a bank to be used. He was a pawn to be manipulated to get what he wanted. And looking at the father, very depressed, the son of the cow, Gokarna, came and advised his father, "Oh father, in this mundane existence that will cause delusion, that will cause misery to people, who is father, who is son, what is wealth, what is wife, what is husband? These things are here now and they'll be gone tomorrow. Don't over suffer. Don't over beat yourself. Indra doesn't know happiness either. He's on the throne and he's always afraid he'll lose his throne. We always think other people are happy, when in truth, in this world, who really knows happiness? Once you have something, you're praying, God, give me this. When I get it, I'll be happy. When you get it, oh God, the bandit come into it. Oh God, I had to pay to fix it, change the battery, change the band. It becomes a burden. When I have nobody to give it to, who will maintain it? I give it to my son. My son have it now. Thank God, I'm happy. But now my son ill-treating it. He has no value here now. How hard I work for this. It seems as if happiness is always eluding everybody. That's the gist of what he's trying to tell him. Only when you give up the attachments, the vairagya that we talked about last night, when you give in to seclusion, when you start to stop depending on other people, when you start to stop depending on other people for happiness, you will find happiness. When I grow up, I'll be happy. Wrong. When I get my car, I'll be happy. Wrong. Then the car ain't good enough. I had to get that kind of car, and then I'll be happy. When I get that kind of job, I'll be happy. When you get the first job, you was really, you're gone. You're happy. When I get the better job, because now the same job is not good. The salary is not good. When I get married, I will be happy. When the girl married, oh God, that is not I married the wrong one. When I got a child, oh God, the child come and he bawling 3 o'clock in the morning and the pampers had to get up and mix bottle. I don't want to do that. When this child grow up, I'm going to be happy. When the child get big and the child where you hold the hand anymore, don't touch me. I don't want to listen to you. You're irrelevant in my life. When the child married and he go and the child only studying their life and the child forget you and you become irrelevant. Oh God, I'm back to sad. When you get a grandchild, I'll be so happy. When you get a grandchild and then the grandchild have to go home, back to sad. Dhundhakari says, if you do not place your happiness on the backs of other people, then you will find happiness. Hearing this, Atma Dev asked Gokarna, his child, father asking child for advice. I trust, I listen. Tell me in detail what should be done in the forest. You who find in pity with me, emancipate me from all the chains of delusion. I am so wicked, sinful, and I am caught in a ditch in this worldly existence. Hearing his father say these things, Gokarna, who had an innate knowledge, an innate ability to explain it like a parent, a stranger might explain the science, but mommy has a way to break it down like the roti in little pieces for the baby to understand. Gokarna was able to take tough things, and for this person who was very emotional and lost, depressed, Gokarna found the words to say to help him. Quickly giving up the feeling of mineness, your ego, everything is mine. When you even look at your body, it is flesh and bone that comes from somebody else and it has to go back to that person. Wife, son, these things, they're momentary. Become wise, Father. Start to detach. Become firm in who is owning everything you think you own. Worship who owns everything you think you own. Always hold to that practice. Serve people. Seva, do good things. Find pleasure in serving people. And whilst you're alive, you will find peacefulness. And when you are leaving, you will find everlasting peacefulness. Listening to the words as if he was drinking the sweetest elixir of Gokarna, Atma Dev took the advice. And listening and developing and freeing himself when his strength came by the age 60, he abandoned the home, he left the home. And he went to the forest, living there only in the company of goodly and godly people, eventually giving up the life to go to Mahavishnu. Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. When the father had gone to the forest, wicked Dhundhakari comes and threatens now the mother. I want more money. Where's the wealth? Where's all the grains? I will kill you if you don't give me all the things my father had given to you. Out of worship, husband come and he brings like a rat, he brings gold and he's putting it for her, hoarding it in the chest and the chest and the safe. Give me those things. Give me all. And out of fear now for her life, afflicted, she gives it. And as time is going, out of fear, one night, she faints and she dies. And it says she fell into a well and drowned. People fish out her body. Neighbors, when they hear what is happening, the commotion, they come and they get the body lifeless. But Dhundhakari is not the person to do any type of worship. Dhundhakari is living in the house of the prostitute. He has his friends. Due to his practice, his fierce deeds, he did not know how to feed them. Now the mother gone, the money gone, the father gone, the money gone. Where to get? I have to maintain my friends. Otherwise, the prostitute, they tell him, dear one, handsome one, mama guy words, we are your friends today, O protector. O Savior of us. But if you don't provide wealth and fine garments and the beautiful ornaments, my dear friend, we will have no choice but to move on to another amorous customer, to another lover, to another person. You have to provide. Now he becomes a slave to the prostitute. He becomes a slave to his desires, to lust. And hearing these words, in that moment, he thinks how to do it. And blinded by sexual and sensual desires, he goes not aware of the untimely death. The next moment, went out of the house at night and stole someone's garments, ornaments. O Narad, full of joy, comes back home to all his prostitutes and loose friends, and he's showing them all the goodies he brought home, and he's giving to these women. And they know amongst themselves, he has brought all of this by stealing. Look, he's going again. And every night he's going and he's bringing for them more and more gold, more and more substance. Every day he's committing theft. The king, the Kshatris, they will come for him. And they will snatch away his wealth. And they will certainly beat him. This will end. Therefore, before they come for him, listen to the conspiracy. Why not just kill him? Let us destroy him now, so that when we have our fill of riches, let us destroy him before the king find him, and they want to return the wealth to other people where it come from. Let's kill him in secret. Nobody will know. He is such a lowly fella, nobody will miss him. So, after collecting the next night raid and wealth, those wicked people intent on killing him waited while he was asleep, and they took cord and they wrapped his neck. As they kissed him and they caressed him in that cordial meeting, Dhundhakari did not even realize they were tying rope and so on around his neck. And even in the squeeze, he does not die. He is gasping for air, he's suffering near to death. They take burning charcoals and they beat him and they hit him in his face, scarring him, oppressed by the burning of his flesh. In that suffering moment, he dies. They take his burnt, halfway burnt, battered body, bleeding body, and this person, these rash women, throw his body in a ditch. Narad Muni, nobody knew where he was. When people asked, they could not find him. They asked these same prostitutes the next day, did you see him? Do you know where he is? The soldiers come looking for him. We hear he's a bandit. Where is he? We don't know where our Lord has gone, our master. He was minding us, but we don't know where the benefactor went. After getting wealth, he would come back after a long time, but we haven't seen him. And for that reason, they were left alone. They were innocent. Dhundhakari, because of all the bad deeds, because nobody did the funeral, the 10 days, etc. No one did Pindadan. None of this transmigration from this dear light form for the sinful soul to the astral form, that wasn't done. So he becomes a roaming spirit, boot, taking the form as big as a darkness, black, heaviness. Every day he ran in all directions, troubled by cold and heat, without food, and he becomes very thirsty. He cries in different places, where can I get happiness? Dhundhakari, knowing after some time that he was now dead, Gokarna went to do Shrad, what we call Nandimukh Shrad, Narayan Bali Shrad in Gaya. Think about this. When you find someone has drowned at sea, Baba, and there's nobody to do, no physical body to do funeral, how does that person do Shrad? We have wars waging throughout this world. When a person is destroyed, blown up, lost in the plane went down in the ocean, and there's no physical body to do Shrad, to do the funeral, then to instigate the Shrad, there must be a method. This is what Gokarna is going to do. He goes to do Shrad, Narang Bali Shrad in Gaya. Where, if for those of you that you remember that discourse where the demon is left in the land and they put a plate for Lord Vishnu on his chest. Gaya is the name, Gayasur. People who go there, they get upliftment. They, regardless who they are, you go Gaya to do Shrad, you're going to go to Vaikunth. He went on pilgrimage to Gaya and he says, wherever that disgusting brother of mine is, whatever fate he has experienced, dear Lord, please allow his soul to find happiness, mukti. And after staying in Gaya for a few days in the Vishnu Pad and different places, he came home, knowing that Gokarna was asleep in the yard. Dhundhakari, in this fierce, the word fierce comes here, fierce form. This prate, Roman soul, for a moment, how does it look? He becomes an elephant. Blink. He becomes a camel. Blink again. A buffalo. Blink again. In this time, the body is rotting. Pieces of the flesh are missing. Pieces of the gooey face, opening scar. You could see inside the mouth. Things are hanging out of his body. Then blink again. Serpent. Seeing this vicious, persecuted form walking step to step to step closer, Gokarna became amazed and mustering some courage. What is this? What is the means that cause a person to be reduced to this condition? Out of pity now, dear pitiful one, tell me what is the cause of your condition? Why are you like this spirit, fearful, causing fear? Tell me what I could do to help you, that you have come to me this hour in the night. Hearing the words of his brother, that wicked Dhundhakari could not talk. He does not have the ability, the spirit doesn't have the ability to communicate. But he made sign that he wants water. And Gokarna went and souped water in his hand and he says, Jai Vishnu, and he gave him some water. He sprinkled water, and when the water with the name of Mahavishnu touched him, it is as if he get a little ebb of upliftment. Now he could talk. Touched by the hallowed waters with the name of Vishnu. Now, my brother, I can communicate with you. And Dhundhakari says, it is I, your brother, Dhundhakari, who is in this form. I am your brother, Dhundhakari, and it is by my fault, my deeds, I have been reduced to this condition of an evil spirit. My mother, terrified by me, died of grief. My father, I was eager to feed only prostitutes, not people who needed help. I committed prohibited acts. I ate prohibited things. I was only greedy for different things. And out of all of this, it brought me to being murdered that night by those same friends, brother. And in secret, my body gave up the Jiva Atma. And because of all of these things, this evilness that was within me, I am now in this condition. But today, by sprinkling that little water, by the powerful name of God, today I am feeling release after such a time with the thirst. O ocean of pity, free me from this condition, and there is no doubt that God will bless you. Hearing the words of his brother, the intelligent Gokarna became confused. He says, my dear brother, what are you saying? I went to Gaya and I did Pindadan, I did puja for you, I did worship. How is it you're not in heaven? How is it that even when Shrad is performed, which is impossible, in Gaya, you are not liberated? He says, even when a person has done Gaya Shrad, depending on the weight of that person's soul in terms of bad acts, it is possible that a person would be caught in this type of predicament that I am. There must be something bigger and better than that Shrad. Gokarna says, let me think on it and I will figure out a way to work for your mukti or your liberation. Dhundhakari, the soul, went back to the tree that was growing in the cemetery, in the cremation ground, and he lives in that tree, in that place, and he finds, safety there. And Dhundhakari went by the village, let me say, pundit, astrologist, and he started to talk to him, to tell him that so and so came. And the Brahman started to say a prayer that is still chanted till today when Yagya is going to start. They pray to the sun, asking for help, asking for guidance, asking for some answer to this predicament. It is not an easy thing when people are in trouble and you want to put the right prayer, the right solution to solve their trouble, to troubleshoot the tough questions. They went to Surya. Surya says, O Brahman, in order to pacify the sins of Dunduli's son Dhundhakari, let Gokarna, who is born from the cow, let him read the Bhagwat for 7 days. Gokarna must become the Vyas. The person who is the Go, or like how in my name they say Gosine or Goswami is a title used for the keeper of the cow or the religious texts, the knowledge. And now the teacher have to teach the teacher, be the person to teach it in such a way that other people could learn. Allow Gokarna to teach you too. And when that Bhagwat is chanted for 7 days, and due to the merit of Atmadev, the father, when you do the Vancha Chintamani Suktam, there will be the difference where a person, when they're praying for different children, wealth, different forgiveness, salvation, all of these things are possible. Gokarna, knowing the truth, having the right attitude, he became the orator. He became the Vyas. He sat on the seat, Narad. He did the Narayan Suktam. He did the prayer. And he started to read the Bhagwat. In this way, when that was ongoing, as the text was ongoing in the discourse, the son of Dhundhakari, they're praying for him to go to heaven. Mentally resolved, they pray that, dear Lord, this Yagya is being chanted, Gyan Yagya is being done for the help of that evil spirit. They invited that pret to come and have a seat in a bamboo. And for those of you that know this katha, the bamboo had 7 joints. And when one day of the Yagya, listening, the son, the pret that is allowed to sit there, as one day passed, the pop was heard in the bamboo. And the soul of Dhundhakari moved one notch upward. Second day, third day, and he popped and he continued going up like this. On the 7th day, the final burst in that joint was heard, and the bamboo split open on the prayer, on the altar, on the puja, on the bedi, in this now, to everybody's amazement, the scary form is no longer visible. Now, he has transformed into the equivalent of Lord Vishnu. 4 hands, it is as if Lord Vishnu appeared. But he is identifying himself as Dhundhakari. He has tulsi leaves and mala form around his neck. He's looking beautiful like Mahavishnu, and he says, oh brother, you have kindly freed me from this evil spirit form. And God is ready to accept me by your recitation of Bhagwat. For this week I have gained access into Vaikunth. It is so powerful that all afflictions, all the conditions where I couldn't even touch water, I couldn't get help, just by the recitation of this Bhagwat for the Saptaha, for the 7 days, it is able to burn all the mistakes I made to ash. Whether it is done deliberately or not deliberately. If the sin is by your speech, by your mind, by your act, it is capable of burning those acts to ash. You have to apply that statement to your life. And where the sin, the mistake, secret or otherwise, I meant to do it. You have to be honest with yourself, because we are all sinners. Then I want to become like Dhundhakari and gain the upliftment. Listen to that holy text of Bhagwat in this place of Bharat, where the devatas themselves want to come. This oh brother, is the true reason, the true herb, the true tablet, the true medicine that will burn away the bones and the marrow and the flesh and the blood that are paining a person. When a person in this life, the marks, the cripple, the sick, the cancer, the this and the that this body is deformed because of sin, and you want to overcome the trials that this body, the sickness that is causing it, listen to Bhagwat. Pure, a person becomes pure just by relishing. Look at your attitude, relishing, enjoying the opportunity. I want to become pure. I want the Bhagwat, the body polluted due to blemishes caused by actions. Rather than you go to hell, this person is able to become freed in this life and after this life. For those people who read, listen to this text, they are regenerated, they are reborn. All doubts are cut. Oh brother, so powerful is this gift you have done for me. This is why even today in my practice, Keshava, in my life, when I do prayer for people and they have their 12-day, 13-day, my personal opinion, when that soul is getting ready to travel, still today, I still maintain this. When, let's say, we do the prayer in the morning and, you break for everybody to eat in the evening time, I like to read Bhagwat. If it's just one session, for the soul to get that before it leaves or departs the home. I tell people, listen, one of the wonderful katha that I like to read on that day is the katha where Jara is going to let loose the arrow to hit Krishna in his foot under the peepal tree when Lord Shiva and Brahma comes to look for him in that last send-off. When speaking like this, a person can listen to the value, to the power of the just listening to Bhagwat. Gokarna saw, all the people of the village saw, where the plane, I say in the aeroplane for children, the Vahan of Vaikunt came, and he, the sinner known as Dhundhakari, is asked to please enter so that we could take you to Vaikunt. That the emissaries of Mahavishnu had come themselves for him. No Yamraj, no Yamdut, no beating, no suffering, no pain. No matter how much bad. The Brahman said, Gokarna, how come all of us gathered here, listen to that Bhagwat for the week, but only your brother Dhundhakari got that Bardhan to go to get mukti? Gokarna said, he was desperate. So the personality in the spirit form is thirsty. He wasn't eating. He wasn't fixated on that. But he's focused that this prayer, somehow, I don't know the mantra, I don't know the prayer, I don't know the passages, I don't know anything, but I have the faith that this will work. I'm sitting here in the bamboo and I want it to work. It has to work. It has to work. It has to work. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to leave this place. It will work. And with that focus, with that drive, when he hears it, the transformation happened. You were here, yes, physically here, but mentally you were not here. You were watching the clock, waiting for the moment when will we break for a recess? When will we get a break? For me and you, when will we get parsad? When will we get food? When will I get to go home? And that becomes your focus. However, if you have learned anything by this initiative, as this example is to give a person the strength that, you know what, it really works. He did it and it worked. I'm going to try it now. The Gita tell you what great people do. No, ordinary people will practice and they will benefit. Imagine till today, I tried this tablet and I was able to overcome my predicament, my sickness, my illness, my bald-headedness, my shortness. I drank this thing, I became tall. You try it, you might like it. And when you hear some popular person try it and you see evidence that it works, now you are motivated. With faith, I am going to take the tablet, I'm going to take the elixir and drink it. Gokarna says, now that you have the evidence that it could work, embrace this elixir, embrace this method, do it the right way for the week. Listen and be attentive, intent on getting this blessing. Fast and prepare yourself to absorb Krishna. Don't come because of the vyas. Don't come for people. Don't come to show people. Don't come dress and to look perfect and to dress up. Don't let that be your focus. Come for Krishna. And you yourself will ascend to Golok. In the same way, Bhagwat was done again. Gokarna was allowed to read. And O Narad, now all the people of the village, all the neighbors came and they practiced the restraint. They ate limited. They talked limited. No slander. Not only curse words or rudeness. Not only those things, but think about bad talking, gossiping, overcutting up the takari, the food. You're making the parsa that going to offer by Christian foot and you're talking about people. That is your focus. You see how she look. You see how he do. You see who come last night. That your focus. That my focus. Don't do that. That is what Gokarna is saying. Do it right. And in this way, they did it. And at the end of it, Krishna appears with all the cow herders, all his emissaries, all his helpers, and all these people that were sitting in that Yagyashala. They heard the song being bellowed, but they couldn't see where the song was coming from, the sound. But when they looked to the Bedi, standing on the Bedi is that blue boy with that vast basuri. Vishnu Baba, Krishna Bhagwan comes and embraces Gokarna and transforms Gokarna in that moment for the help that you have rendered these people, for the guidance that you have given to them, for the teaching of bhakti, for the teaching on how to pray. Not only go to the prayers, be there, eat the food, eat the parsad, but how to pray, how to do it, trying to fight that karma. He makes Gokarna become a mirror image of himself, Krishna, standing there. It looks as if for children, Krishna is talking to Krishna. Gokarna is transformed into the likeness of Krishna. And he is told, go into the vehicle, the Vahan, that will go upward. In Turan word today we go say spaceship. That will go up to Golok. By his orders, all those that were filled with emotion to see God appear in front of them, to feed him the prasad that they made in their home, the little prasad. Krishna accepted all that they had, then he accepted their flowers, then he accepted them. And he took all of them, all of their offerings, and he escorted each one into the arms of the cow herders, Mansuk, Sudhama, all of them, take them, go back to Golok. Go and reap the reward of your Bhagwat. And those people that lived in that village, it says they are in amazement as they are approaching. They are still in the ship and they are looking down and they are seeing Nanda Baba. They are seeing Radha and all the gopis doing their chores. They are seeing the cows. They are seeing Shiv Baba coming to look with the goddess to look for Krishna. And now the commencement of their time in Golok is assured by the virtue of Gokarna, by the person who is born of this cow, by the virtue of listening to Bhagwat for 7 days. O Narad, this is what I wanted to teach you first, because now with that example, you are better prepared what to do and you are assured of the outcome. Don't let water be a problem. Don't let the want of this body be a problem. Do whatever austerity. Do the mantras. Mutter the prayer. Talk to Krishna and make the sacrifice for this yag to be read, for it to be listened, to be penetrated into your being and those people you have invited to your yagyashala. And know that when the person is intent on listening to Bhagwat, like the effects of these people, like Gokarna, like Dhundhakari, the worst person. There is no limit. Remember Narad question, what caused this? Who is the person that Bhagwat cannot help? Regardless to the outcome, as I conclude, forgive me for going over. Regardless to the sin, regardless to the outcome, regardless to the mistake, regardless, I am sorry. I am sorry as a pundit if shortcuts were done and I'm using COVID in our family. Let's move on. I am trying in a medium through the internet to reach you, to send a message that there is a method as simple as listening to Bhagwat. It is a tool. It is a tool that when used correct could help a person put the nails that you are trying to hammer. But if you do not use the tool and you do like crazy Keshava, trying to pong a nail with your finger, you may never achieve your end. If you use your prayer, if you use your yagya, if you use your mandir, use your guru, use your pandit, use the puja, use your Krishna, use your Bhagwat in the correct way, that mistake that you are beating yourself for, that you're worried, you're going through like Atma Dev, all the trouble with sickness and children and grief and loss, all the abuse where nobody understands what you went through and going through and have to face on a day-to-day basis. My question is, you are the maker of your destiny. What are you doing about it? What steps are you making to fix your life? Go where Bhagwat is being read. Find yourself in that circle. Carry a flower. Start and build the bhakti, build the devotion. You may have money upon it. That's fine. We went in different times in our home when things were very hard, when business wasn't good for daddy, and we were very young. I remember going with mommy in Seva Mandir in Princess Town, and in those days, I can't remember the Baba. He used to drive a yellow Toyota Corolla. I remember that man. God bless him wherever that soul is. Parsad was a dinnerman sweetie in those days. That is all we had to offer for Satyanarayana Swami. Go and be the person to share the chana and alu. Go and be the person to sweep the temple. Help. You don't have money, you don't have the clothes. I don't care about that. Come where Bhagwat is being read and fix your life, fix your family, fix your marriage, fix your health. You could do it. Stop being lazy. Stop being so lethargic. We hear about what Kali Yuga is. As a pundit, from my own perspective, and I said last night, many pundits, by the grace of God, they are reading Bhagwat now. In a way, it was dying off. You was not hearing the Sumiran, Redhi Siddhi Data. Gone. But now, it is coming back, and I'm hoping that the pundits in Gyan, I'm hoping that the pundits in Suriname and other parts of the world are listening to this. Please be reminded of the value in this Kali Yuga of Bhagwat. Chanting Ramayana and chanting Hanuman Chalisa and all these things are wonderful. But Hanuman Baba has his head at the feet of Sri Ram. Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, when the verses were complete, 4 verses go towards the completion of Bhagwat. Bhagwat is the tool that is used in this Kali Yuga to create the boat that will sail the sinner to Golok. Please remember, we have the tools. If we only go and sing bhajan, 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 we become great entertainers. But we have to live in a cesspool of sin. When the bhajan done and the concert finish, we go back to trouble. Tonight, as I conclude, I apologize for going over. I hope you enjoyed tonight's discourse. I hope that you are seeing where you take the knowledge. Maybe you have heard this discourse, and I'm glad I could have brought it to you again, of Gokarna and Dhundhakari. If this is the first time you've heard it, I hope you relished it. I hope you applied it. If for those of you that are in testing situations, and there's so many, because of Kali Yuga, let's heap it together, Kali Yuga. The Baba didn't tell me, the now didn't tell me. I live in a place where I couldn't get Tulsi. So my prayers, I felt it was, substandard. I did my prayers substandard. I couldn't do it. Even there, Kripa Raj is Christian. And even there's a we. And this is why I wanted to read this Gyan Yagya. I want you to understand what Gyan Yagya is. We heard it, and we heard it tonight from Narad Muni. I hope tonight as we separate, if you are looking at me on the repeat or on the YouTube channel or on the television, it makes no difference. Take the lesson. Learn. And when you go to your guru and you go to your Pandit, my dear Hindu brothers and sisters, make the change today. Make the change in your life. You may be watching me a year from now. That's okay. When you get the invitation to go to Bhagwat, understand the value. When you have the initiative, when you reach to your moments, what to do, let somebody come and read Bhagwat in your home one night. God bless you. One day we'll do the 7 days. But until then, do some. Tomorrow is not assured. Do what you can. When you are given the opportunity to shine in the Bhagwat, to sit for the Bhagwat, think of how good and godly and goodness allow you to get a chance. When you get it, relish it. For the person who gets to make the prasad, the person who gets to go in the kitchen and just turn the pot, wash the dishes, slave, dasanam, do it. Krishna Das, Tulsi Das. What did Das mean? I am a servant for him. I came today. I don't have money, Pandit. I can't afford to decorate a yag. I can't afford to make roti for a Bhagwat. But I could wash the plate. I could cut the leaf. I could pick the flowers. I want to do that. I don't want payment for it. I don't want you to pay me for it. When you pay me, it robs me of the blessing. So I want to give that Charhawe Krishna Arpan. This is my sweat. I am giving it. This is my Seva. In this age of Kali Yuga, when people only want money, when somebody pays you, they are paying you for your sweat. They are paying you for your Seva, and you're not going to benefit. This is why the Pandit is not the person when he collects Sida. He's not the person getting the merit of listening to the Bhagwat. That the Pandit's road is a different road. The person who sits and listens, Narad Muni in our example, Dhundhakari, not Gokarna first. Dhundhakari gets the blessing. The person in the audience is the winner. The Shrota is the winner. For this reason, you may be the person to make mala, you may be the person to cook, you may be the person to decorate, you may be the person to sing, you may be the musician, you may be the pujari, the pandit. Find a way to do seva for your Krishna. When Bhagwat comes, don't expect anybody to ask you for a favor. Say, Bhagwat, I would like to make Parsad one day. Bhagwat, let me pick flowers for the prayer. Bhagwat, let me make mala, please, for that murti. Bhagwat, please let me come in the morning. Could I spend, like here in the ashram, the children want to spend the night? No problem. The godmother will fix them up. They get up in the morning and they get going with that joy, with that love. In the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram, for those of you who are accustomed, we're doing it 7 years. 7 years we want to do the Bhagwat. Some skandhas long, some are short. So, you merge it together in 7, you could read out the whole book. Doing justice to the explanation. Tonight, as I conclude my second trance, my second reading of this Mahatyam, walk away knowing a little bit about your Mahatyam, about your Bhagwat. Know the truthness in this Dhundhakari and this Gokarna Katha. Know the fullness of it. For my pundits, I plead with you, please, when you're reading this Mahatyam for people, please read it and explain to them with all the love. And God will bless you, pundits. God will bless you for all the help you are rendering, for giving your time like Atma Dev, for all the sacrifice when everybody's in their home, comfortable, you're going in the morning and you're going and God is looking at you for the sacrifice, but do it to your fullest. Give it to them. Give them. Don't judge people. Give them. Even Dhundhakari is able to benefit from Bhagwat. Nobody is better. Nobody is greater and rich and poor and this caste and that caste. Don't do that. Pandits, please Support your shishya, support your godchildren, do it and give them the fullest discourses that lift them, especially in this dark age. Prem Sabolo Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, again, I apologize for the little extra time. Please put your hands together as we say our final pratna. Dear Lord, as we've come to the end of our second night of this Gyan Yagya, we've discussed so much, but if by your grace, those viewing, your children that are plagued by unhappiness like Atma Dev in different forms, Prabhu, we sometimes think when I get this, when I achieve this, I will be happy. When I get to that point, when I get to that age, I will be happy. When I retire, I will be happy. And then sickness come, different surprises come. Prabhu, please light a light in the life of your children. Give them the initiative to find an avenue to hear Bhagwat, to be in a temple, to be in a community where they will benefit from Bhagwat. Allow them to get an invitation and have the strength in their legs or their vehicles to reach. God, give them the opportunity to reach so that they can inherit the punyam and the blessings that could flow from just listening to Bhagwat. Prabhu, may you bless all those that have viewed this yagya, those that will view, for those that have the strength to press the share button so that others in their family and their circle can benefit from this type of discourse. God bless each and every one of your children. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva sarvam mama deva deva tvameva sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti, everybody. Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Prem Svalo Malvati Mahadeva ki Jai. Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki Jai. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Vindravan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Jai Jai. Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Join us tomorrow night for our concluding session, our last discourse, special prayer that will come in our last trance of the Srimad Bhagwat Mahatyam, Bhagwat Mahapuran Mahatyam, reading from the Padma Puran. Be looking out tomorrow night for us to conclude this discourse. Everybody, God bless you. Sitaram.
Sitaram, everybody. And as we get set to listen to tonight's discourse, before we go, I just go into the yagya. I want to invite each and every person for Bhagwat 2025 at the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram. You are all invited. Whether you would like to help us cook, get involved in making mala, bring your children so that we can teach them, or maybe you would like to sit for prayer. Once you follow the rules of fasting and preparing yourself that we all know and we've come to practice when we have prayer, the door is open for you to come and take part. Please give me a call. You have my number on the screen. When the yagya starts, use it. Call me for more information. The dates on the invitation, again, from the 3rd to the 10th of August. I am cordially inviting you and your family. Come sit in the audience. Come sit for prayer. Do what you would like. Get involved in some way. And it begins with a phone call. It begins with reaching out, calling me, texting me, and we'll do it together. See you soon. I hope you enjoy your satsang. Have fun, everybody. Sitaram.